You talked about fair and sustainable and equitable and more equal. Each of these things are aspects of what I would consider to be a system not called capitalism. I would be looking similarly to what Jason Hickel speaks of, which is ecosocialism. How do we ensure that the sins of the global north do not become the sins of the global south as we're building capacity, providing good jobs, and providing this additional value-added infrastructure? How do we make sure that that becomes a part of the shared value for all of Africa and the global south versus just in the hands of the few?
Very good question. If I haven't uttered the word degrowth, I think the majority of listeners would agree with the logic of everything I've presented. But as soon as people hear degrowth, they think recession, which is part of the problem. Degrowth doesn't mean recession. Degrowth doesn't mean going backwards and going to an inferior quality of life, anything like that. Degrowth means giving up consumerism, giving up excessive use of energy and waste of materials for the sake of generating profits and creating jobs that we think are inevitable. That's the obsession with GDP and growth. We can actually have a degrowth type of economy with higher quality of life, with better paying jobs, better quality jobs, even full employment actually, and have less of this thing we call GDP, gross domestic product, that we have higher quality of life indicators and production of things that are not monetized in measuring GDP, but are actually extremely important for our quality of life. So degrowth doesn't mean stopping economic activity. It's transforming economic activity, rethinking the purpose of economic activity. We got to a point where almost everybody thinks the purpose of economic activity is to create jobs. No, the purpose of economic activity is the provisioning process of the things that we actually need. But we've corrupted that process by saying we need to create artificial needs and consumption habits that are unsustainable so we can generate enough economic activity to employ people, as if the employment and production and consumption doesn't actually exhaust resources or drain resources or destroy the environmental quality of life. So this is the thought process that the degrowth community invites us to think about. But the knee-jerk reaction is, oh, degrowth is recession. Oh, degrowth is going to destroy the economy. Absolutely not. Degrowth will strengthen the economy, and degrowth will substantially improve quality of life in the global north, not just in the global south. So as we engage in this thought process about what a degrowth sustainable economy means, we're not just doing this for the global north so that we convince the global north to do degrowth, but it's about rethinking what we're doing in the global south. We're producing all this renewable energy for what purpose? So that we waste it and consume more and waste more? Absolutely not. So that we improve quality of life, deliver better services on education, on health. But as we do that, we design transportation systems that are sustainable. We design housing systems that are sustainable. And we design lifestyles and economic systems that don't rely on waste and abuse in order to create jobs. So that's really why this synthesis of degrowth ideas with MMT ideas provides the perfect combination to unleash the great potential we have globally for a fair and just and equitable and sustainable and prosperous economic system.